How nice of you to join me. I can't point things out very good, but I'm going to give you my best visual description. I would like a radio in my vehicle. I've already taken out the old speaker. Oh my God. And there's a new speaker in place. And it has the nuts require a 3/8 wrench. And that one nut that's up there by the green wire, oh my, it was horrible. Then when you drop it, you got to try and find it. And they're what they're called stamped nuts. They aren't solid, so as you know, sometimes they don't start on the threads very good as it is. But so that was a great big deal, get that speaker in place with just a 3/8 wrench, and I did have to use a socket on one of the other ones. I was able to get at it. So while we're here, I replaced the bulb. You can probably make it out. That's the vacuum gauge way up in there. And put a new bulb in, and ran to put the hose is in bad shape, the vacuum hose to that gauge. So I used a 1/4-inch vacuum hose. And way up in there, if you can see it or not, see it kind of shiny. Maybe I could have used my ice pick way up in there, see it? I've replaced the defroster hose. The reproduction one's not too bad. They're made out of plastic instead of wires strung through it. But boy, that was tough getting up in there. And I had my side panels. I had them all in place and ended up taking them back off to get access here. And also what you see as I push, I should have brought my pointer. There's the courtesy light. I pulled it back took the cover off, popped off, pulled it through the dash. And the red wire is hot all the time, so I'm going to go outside the car and show you my new radio and how we hooked that up. And I don't know if any of you have ever painted springs before. Here are the two springs hooked end to end. They go on the bottom, one spring for each seat on the bottom. So what you do is you put a heavy weight on it. I use 2 crescent wrenches here. See that? So that way it spreads the spring apart, so when you paint it, you can get in between the. So there you go. That's how I paint springs. My Avanti isn't a body off frame restoration. So I stated before, I steam cleaned it. It was pretty clean, underneath. I just wire brush cuffed it real good. Did a lot of hand sanding. Fortunately, because they always leak a lot of oil, it kind of preserved it. So I'm getting down to fine-tuning things a little bit here and there. My brake line, there was one I just didn't feel comfortable. Even though undercarriage I painted with black enamel, even cleared it with hardener. But there's one brake line I always didn't really see here. It was kind of pitted, and I didn't feel good about it. See it there? Kind of make it out a little bit. And I even tried bending things. It still seemed pretty good. But if you don't want to make up your own and flare them yourself, I did. This was pretty much exactly the replacement one was 40 inches. Got it down in Napa. And the way I do these is I'll take some electrician's tape. Always nice just to chop. And you can't seem to get as sharp a bend on these replacement ones without kinking them. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. I've already, usually these are 3/8 wrench, which is about the size of the fittings, size wrench fitting. So I start at one end, I'll get the first bend in, tape it real good, get the next bend in and kind of follow right along. Put a little more tape on it to keep in their same position. See there, do a little bit more so I can replicate it pretty much the original. Following along with my wrenches, I bend, and then finally to the end. So here we are right there. So I'm happy with that, pretty close. So I'm going to go fit her up on, I might do a little bit more on this here. I'm going to fit her up on the vehicle, see how she looks. And then when I feel comfortable with it, I'm going to give her paint it black and put it on. This one here goes to the rear right passenger side, over the rear end pumpkin. I'm going to try. I guess I'm happy with my exhaust system. It was quite a challenge, I did a little MIG welding and gas welding. I got my fancy double clamps on each side. This is the right side. And it was a little challenging because somebody a little sharper than Goober and Gomer put the exhaust system on. Because it looks like they put new mufflers on, but they had put an extension on each end of the muffler. Then they already welded it here. Did a fairly good job. They call that chicken poop when it's a little gloppy like that. So it was kind of hard for me to really tune it in because if you put a new exhaust system on your vehicle, get it all the original pipes in and in place, and the hangers all loose, and start from the tailpipe, the chrome pieces. Mine are one's a little off, and I can't get it right. So so those are where you should start setting it up. And I measured very carefully. I put my finger around where the rear shackle bolt distance between that and the chrome tip. I should go out and show it to you. But anyhow, that's so minor. It's okay. But so if you do brand new exhaust, set it all up first, and then snug a few of the helpers down a little bit, or the hangers, and get it kind of in place. And that's it. There she is. That is done. Oh, while I was down here, I did notice something kind of interesting. I noticed my frame's in pretty nice shape. I can get that here. Yeah, right here on the one that says 2630, right, R, 2630R. And it's too hard to spin it. And on the other side is 2630L, like for left. I thought that was kind of cool. That's the back where X's. And if you go up front here, there it is over there. See it? And this is towards, you can see towards the front of the edge. It goes off here. And that says, because you can't see it good. Okay, 26L. Yeah, so now I looked at the other side. There says 2626R. So I just thought that was kind of cool. So what's your Avanti on the frame? What's the numbers on your Avanti compared to the numbers on mine? And of course, these were, I guess, were originally a Studebaker, or I use them for the. Oh, jeez. I know because I had a couple of them. Studebaker Lark. Oh, I had one with a 259. It was stuck. I got it raw. Sound little four-door, but it was cool. I should have kept. I never. Anyhow, that thing went like hell with a little V8 in it. So yeah. So these Larks, man, those frames are unbelievably heavy. Holy crap! So just those numbers I saw, I thought was kind of interesting. They're not again somewhere. Yeah, this frame is a pretty nice shape, really. Look at that light. I just got back from Niagara Falls. I was so excited because Mike from the Niagara Custom Plating, Niagara Falls, Mike. I never look at his Bobeck. Nice guy. My age is 60s. Mike, cool guy, called me up and man, I got to get up there. Wanted to right away. I'm so excited, and oh, geez, I got between Brockport, New York, and Niagara Falls, New York, and it started. Oh, a storm hit, and I go, oh my God, I got to get my valve covers. I don't care what it takes. I'll spend the night if I have to, because you never know around here when a storm comes in, especially that area. So yeah, my thoughts are on the way home. Boy, if I get killed. I was like, where are these things here on the floor there? Anyhow, so I should do a little film of those. They're cool guys. They're like a backbone of America, industrial kind of guys. Mike and his crew there. So let's move here and get this going. These are two. Got them back, $600, $300 a piece. These are the ones in my reference vehicle, and boy, they sure look nice. Thought I'd save me some bucks by using them, but as I showed you before, I had some issues. So Mike guarantees, he says that the plating on the bottom of these are gonna stick. It's not gonna peel. I go, you sure? Mike goes, we'll probably both be dead by the time the next guy starts having issues and peeling and going through the engine. So, and here's like one of the other ones. Look how that. He says for some reason they didn't have it cleaned good or something. Says they didn't. I go, geez, the acid dipper should have, So somehow they didn't get the plate and the stick good on here. And these are still nice. I'm going to wire brush them and clean them up real good. Somebody's going to buy this reference car when I get done with this project. These are two original caps that were on, I'll call it the reference car again, which used to be Lyle, the last register. These original caps that were out came with the reference car. Remember showing me that issue? See, this one here had the flower down, but not bad. But I wanted to keep my original ones with the car. I don't know why. God, look so. So for the hell of it, I had Mike also chrome these. Had him do one. And this one actually knows there's a little detail anyhow. That's the reference car over there. Mine were in really nice shape. So I wrapped them in a sock to preserve them because mine are in nice shape. Oh, jeez. Now mine were in nice condition. They didn't really need to be re-chromed. And so I didn't have mine re-chromed. But I did have one of the reference cars, so just to show you. I did notice they have like that wire mesh kind of inside. It's supposed to be kind of a little bit of a filter, right? There's no way of getting that out of there. So I didn't ask Mike, but I see how it's gone. So when they dip them, I think it eats all that right out. So looks cool. It's okay, but I didn't question more on that. And I don't care because I got my original ones. They're in nice shape. And here's the big test. Well, Mike, there we go. Right there, I go, is this going to go on? That was my issue from the start, was that these didn't fit on there because he had too much. Whoa, wait a minute. That's supposed to go on. There she is. Yeah, I'll get a little nervous there. See, that's my original cap and my original valve covers. So however they do it when they played them, he made sure that would go on. But as I say, these here, on my reference, I'm going to scratch them up. They won't go on. They just, well, I don't care what you do. And there's no way of altering that. You have to, I'm going to have to carefully sand this down, and then I'll sell them to the reference vehicle. All right, I hope you followed all that. That was touch and go. Oh my God, it starts snowing, and I'm going to Niagara Falls, step by step, inch by inch, to bring back my valve covers. It felt good to go home. I think that was the Three Stooges that did that, step by step. And here we go. So I like this guy. This guy is cool. I hate to say Harbor Freight China crap, but yeah, they're pretty good. Cleaned up my, already had them cleaned. I went over them again with my little wire brush. Where the gasket's going to be, make sure I see everything here. Where's my pointer too? So there's my nice looking valve. I've had these a while ago. I got primer freaking dribbled all over it, but that's okay. New rubbers for the valve covers. And this is I'm going to use this for like this type cork gaskets. This is the better of Permatex to use. And I like to let it really dry good. Can't wait to get some oil back in the engine. I got the head valve cover gasket surface cleaned up good with this wool sock, a little gas. That ready to go. These rubbers went in there. They were pretty decent. These I ordered them from. I'm sure all the Studebaker guys get that. Okay, here's my little packet here. I did have it written down here. Valve covers. They have different things in there. Here's what came off my vehicle. This is in my package. I'm not sure what that was off. I had 3 acorns left and 2 different size washers, a smaller and a larger. I'm wondering what was the original that came with the vehicle. And somebody must have lost, Goomer and Gober, lost one of the nuts, or acorn nuts. So I ordered a new packet. No offense to these guys. Unless there's a different supplier that can tell a different story here. They sent these washers. Come on out of there. Which really are pretty nice. Kind of thick and like they're chrome plated so they won't rust and whatnot. I was hoping maybe they'd be like stainless steel. I tried buying some stainless steel flat washers, but they're very thinner. And okay, so I'm not convinced that those replacement washers. The replacement washer and acorn nut kit it's okay. It's not original. I'm missing an acorn nut. There's a chrome, which is okay. You might like that, but it's got a point on the end. This is more rounded, and this is, I'm pretty sure, an original one. And I only need one, so I'm just going to use one chrome one, just so I'm a little closer to what's right. And I did go through over here. I said every nut and bolt I found in that reference Avanti, who Lyle last had registered, hoping that maybe there might be an acorn nut in there, but there isn't. But I did find, didn't think it was a big deal now. It's like, hey, I did find another gas line clamp. And I guess I showed you. I have one that was left on my vehicle. And actually cleaned her up, painted it. Now I got two. I'm going to use them. Oh, it looks a little smaller in the size. I guess we won't get into it too much. It's a little bit smaller. So that might have been for some kind of vacuum line. Very important. I got two of those guys. Save those. So that said, the washer they give you to replace the originals. Not bad. They're thick. I wish they were stainless steel. Even my good hardware. I can't find thick stainless steel. They're thin, kind of cheesy. These are pretty thick. They're chrome, which is okay. But it doesn't really match what was on mine if they were original. See what I mean? They're actually bigger than these big ones. And I don't think these are correct that were on mine because they look kind of beat up. See how they're kind of chewed up on the bottom for some reason. Like I think they were used for something else. And then they, when they put the engine back together, there's a couple. I bet those aren't right. I'm thinking that these are correct. It's the 21st of March, my son's birthday. March 21st. And spring, I'm excited. It's a halfway decent day. I'm just out here showing there's a few deer out there. Watching what I'm doing. Hey, what are you doing out there? Hey! I'm outside because I got my, call it the morgue cart. I acquired, I was checking out a well flow test for a client who was selling his home, and this was out in the barn, this property. So he gave it to me. It works great for outside. It's got the nice big round wheels, so it's good. Well, I'm preparing it because I got to paint my 5 rims on the Avanti, and this would be a nice surface to paint them on. As you know, I only need one. And so I'm going to clean her up, put some primer on before it rains here. I'll leave it, and then when I get ready to paint my rims, I'm going to kind of restore the old morgue cart a little bit. There again, wonderful tool when it's plugged in. So obnoxious, but these are really nice. You got to get the good cups from Granger. It's a nice west wind, so it just takes all that crap away. There might have been some live people. I've got to be careful. I caught my belt. There's a belt. I got them wrapped underneath. They're strapping the body down, live or otherwise. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to utilize that expensive paint and clearer. After I get my rims done, I'll move them, set them aside, and I'll spray that the same color of the Avanti. And there's out back here in the west. There's one of the bug eyes peeking up. Look how close these deer are. Right out my kitchen window. Look at that. And I did throw some taco shells out there. Oh, they heard me. See what they do. See, they're spooked a little bit. They're CO shell sensitive. The other one's like, hey, what's going on? I've just never in my lifetime been this close to seeing deer just hanging out. Springtime, the 22nd or so. And this time of year, I see them on a lot of people's lawns. Is it just because of the green, the grass is starting to turn green, and that's the best eating? Let's see what they do. I tap on the window. Not that I'd like to disturb their meal. Hey, hey, over here. Just see how. See me now? What's up? Oh, now they're starting to catch on a little bit. So I got the window open a little bit. Yeah, okay, young. Oh, there you go. Oh, there they go. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to see how far they would, when they're hanging a little. So see how far they would go before they would take off. This is such a big day for me. I can hardly contain myself. Beautiful sunny day. It's March 21st, first day of spring. Also my son's 21st birthday. Oh man, what a day. And here we go. I spoke in the past. I've been wanting to get these Holobrand rims, reproductions. You see them in the magazine here. We'll sneak preview of my engines coming together. We'll go into more detail on that later. But here's the big deal. Finally. 3 winters I worked on this car, a total of a year and a half, pretty much 8-hour days, all told. But here we go. Here's the front ones and that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. You know how long I've waited to see this? I was trying to, there's the rears. There's the front. Here's the hubcap, the spinners. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in a little while here, but they, I don't know if they came from the factory originally like that. These are reproductions. Came to $375 a piece. Or four, I got to think of, forget that. Cut that. Here's the front caps. Look, they have like a rubber O-ring. That sucks. Supposed to grease them up good and pound them on with a rubber hammer. That ain't going to work. So I drilled them and tapped them. I'm going to go into more detail on that later. Then I'll give you the price a little bit. It was $900 for 4. Oh my God, $1,800 for 4 rims. So what's that? $450 a piece. Reproduction, $450 a piece for the rim and caps and lugs. Tires, I paid $900. What's that come out to? I should have wrote all this down. 900. Let's see, 450. 225, is that right? 225. And then, so I think everything all, okay. I guess, here we go. That was $1,800 for 4 rims, caps, and lugs. That figured out to about $450 per rim. The tires were $900. That figured out to about another $225 per wheel. So we got $675 wrapped up in each wheel and tire. There. And in a little bit I'm going to go into more detail why I picked what size of tires I used on this vehicle and why, and also how I reworked the spinner hubcap, so I'm sure that they'll stay on the vehicle. But right now I like to stick with a subject matter, but my son, I'm going to meet him and his childhood buddy, who also has turned 21. We're going to go have a little lunch. I'll try to make it quick, and we'll come back and get on to this. You got to show your license.
I'd like a beer. What did you get?
We're going to have a Labatt's Blue White, I guess. Here he goes, 21. He's got his new license at home now. This is his buddy Joey. He turns 21 too, but luckily he has stomach issues, so he's not a drinker. Thank God. I told him that's good. Wow, here we go. Make it 2 of them there, ma'am. Oh, she slipped away. She knew I had enough already. David's here. Just kind of going to be in our little bit of this video.
Ready? boys, 21. Big deal. Now, come here.
Dope.
I almost forgot with the spinner. Okay, now we're done. This means more to me than the kid. Whatever.
Had to excuse that brief intermission, just to my son Jacob and his childhood buddy Joey. 21st birthdays kind of coincides a little bit with my restoration in this moment. So here we are. My reproduction rims and spinner hubcaps are really highly recommend them. The Hala brand, if that's how you pronounce it. Hala brand, whatever. Wish the guy's name was Smith or Jones. But anyhow, they're pretty good reproductions. So, but I'm going to enlighten you on these spinner hubcaps, which I am not pleased with. I showed you briefly how these caps are. All they have is an O-ring, and you're supposed to put oil on here, put oil around this, and also I put oil on my finger and put it around this surface here. You're supposed to put that on there like that, and I don't have my rubber mallet here, you'll see in a bit, and you put a rag on there if you don't want to try and scratch that, and drive it on, and that's all that holds them on. And once it's on, you actually can turn it. So there's always some nut job out there that's going to steal them, or something might happen. If you bump something, maybe they fall off. So I'm going to show you what I did to modify them with these set screws. And a lot of thought went into what size tires to use on this. If I didn't use these, I like these rims because they were a Studebaker option, and I think they're a pretty good looking rim. I was going to use just some old Keystones from that time period I thought would look good. But I went with these, with the white letter, good old BF Goodrich. I think it looks cool. With much thought, my nephew and I come up with, we used the 255/60s on the back, 15. And on the front, I went with the 225/70. So I have a narrow, taller one on the front that's only maybe an inch taller in the back. And we experimented. We did, I think in one of the past videos, there's a picture of a chrome steely, and that was a 275/70, I believe. And boy, one thing nice about these Avantis, you can put the biggest, fattest tire you want on the back of these, and they won't rub in the fender well. But I was a little turned off by these rims because I could only get them in 6-inch width. So, but I went for them. I think it looks pretty good. I wish they would have had a 7 or 8-inch width for the rear. I think it would have looked a little cooler. But for some reason, that wasn't available. Here's the procedure I did for preparing these caps. It looked kind of crude, but it worked for me. I actually just found this, my sweepy brush here. Actually, I did put a level on there, got it kind of leveled that way. Even went like this. Look, I even took and kind of filed this a little bit, made it kind of look good. Then I took my cap, put it on that. Could use a punch and a hammer, but one thing nice about this is they're nice and soft for drilling and tapping. I did the other 3 holes. I just kind of eyeballed it, got it straight up and down. There's a lot of material to work with, which is good. One thing you got to watch out for, make sure they are pretty straight. If you're tilted off a little bit this way and you drill them, when you tighten the set screws, it has a tendency to push the cap back out, away from the rim. My first one, I had to revamp it a little bit. There you go. That's what I use for that. They tape out pretty nice. Am I seeing this okay here? You have to use, use a 7/30 seconds drill. 7/30 seconds. I went with the 1/4 inch. coarse thread tap. Works pretty good. And there you go. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to sit on my chair in front of the wood stove. And I just used a small wrench. This is what I use. See this here? Whatever size that is. And carefully work on it. We'll show you that. That's what I'm going to do. Tap them out. Oh, then I have a little file. Not real. I just kind of take that edge off a little bit. See that? Yeah, not a big deal. Just feel a little better about it going around doing that. There you go. I'm going to tap them. And I hate using the old Cadillac limo's temporary workbench. And maybe 2 set screws, 3 might have been nice. You know what? I went for 4, so I'm putting 4 set screws in them. And so I went to them. I have a real good hardware locally that has a good selection of hardware. You could use a little bit shorter ones if you'd like, but I went for this length, whatever that may be. Okay, there you go. There you go. I got them all threaded. See here, boom, boom. Turns real nice. The very first doesn't really make too much difference, but I picked a spot between the 2 ears to line up with this one ear over here. So I drilled it. And I just kind of eyeballed it and used a magic marker where I drilled it, you see, and line it up. Then I picked a spot over here, drilled it, then went over here, marked it, and tried to get as close to the O-ring as you can, only because there's a pretty good amount of material there. This next part's kind of important because whenever you modify or something or fabricate something, sometimes it turns into different issues. So you have to think things out real good. Okay, I told you this. We're going to do this quick. Let's put a little bit on my finger right like that. Make sure you have your set screws already in. Put a little bit on my O-ring right here. Liberally. Some of you are already thinking ahead. Put these on first. I never even read the instructions. I think you're supposed to put the caps on after the wheels are on. Maybe that's why they want the O-ring idea. I don't know. Because when you put this on there, these will interfere when you go to tighten the lugs later. Oh, good there, good there, good there. Oh, what are we going to do here? You see what I mean? But guess what? This is what I did. Yes, put a rag on. It didn't hurt nothing though. Maybe now I thought it should. Okay, but here's the issue. Before you go tighten those set screws, here's what I did. Line that one up. Got a little bit of angle, but you can tighten it. See this one here? Look at that. It's pretty good. I know you want to move it because it looks good. But if you're off a little bit, then you got to take the wheel back off. But here's what I did. See, that looks. I can deal with that. I got to go a little bit more on the other one. And even if I had to take this extension and grind some material off to get it right straight on, I would do that. Pretty good to me. Just spin it around. Hard to pull them back out. That's how I did it before. Spin that off. So you can get this brand new. And got the correct elements. Got all excited about my great idea here, except there ain't a whole lot of room in there. So you get your Allen wrench on there, and then this will take a long. You got to have a lot of finesse for this. The problem here is once you get it in the Allen, the set screw. Oh, I can't take your time for this. Okay, you'll get one good swing, got it? And then, if the Allen wrench is too long, there's not enough room to get it on the next part of the Allen head screw. You know what I'm talking about. So it's like, oh, now what do I do? So I actually shortened this. I went down the grinder, shortened it until I got enough room to just catch and make the swing. Just catch one notch at a time, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. If things get real ugly, and make a little guy like that, if you got somebody with real nimble fingers, you can actually get that in there, and that'll work pretty good. And then for the last turn, crank it. Okay, I'm going to shut down. I'm going to try to... I have things zeroed in pretty good here. Here's a good example of what I'm trying to explain. I got it swung all the way over. See that? Not enough. It's hitting, correct? Well, if it was longer, it would hit up higher here, and I couldn't. It wasn't quite enough to see what I'm getting at here? Got to go to the next notch. Hey, it takes a little finesse. Okay, I got her in there. I got it. See? Boy, there's not. See what I'm getting at? Now here's my last torque. There. I'm 68 years old. It's sad because these tires hopefully are never going to come off of here in my lifetime. And unless I had to get a nail or something. But I guess I'm going to carry these in the glove compartment in case I'm on the road and something happens. You got to get these off. Okay, there's one. I got to go back and torque the rest of them. I'm pretty sure they all got enough swing. But if you do have a lady friend or children in the family, it's a good time to get them involved in the family thing there. Bring you closer together. So I'm going to keep these two right with the vehicle. Lastly, what I do, not real necessary, I already lost my oil can. There's a place here. I usually put a little oil, squirt a little oil in here and just kind of rub this. I don't know. I don't think that this car's not going to really be in real damp weather. It doesn't hurt to put a little oil in here. My lugs, I already put a squirt of oil in each one of my lugs. Put oil over on the hub of the vehicle. Over there. Before I put the wheels on, I put a little oil on each lug, not the lug, stud, and then oil in these, and I worked them on and off, made sure they screwed all the way in and all the way out. They're pretty good condition. So there we go. At this point, I'm saying the wheels are done. Can't wait till the vehicle, hopefully, if it runs, I can't wait to put it down on the floor and see just how it sets with them wheels. Seems like mine had pretty good suspension in the back. Seems like all these Avantis look a little lower in the front, so I'm hoping everything's going to look okay. Rub a little oil on there. Like that. No big deal. Oh, yes, and put a little oil in those holes, because you know where those lugs will help you later on when you're tightening things up. Oh, son of a bitch! What the hell? Check up! And alright, flip it over. Let's see how things look. Some might find this to be a little bit tacky, but I'm going to give it a try. And there's some paint I have for my vehicle in a touch-up jar. I'm going to paint these inserts here the same color as my vehicle. I think it'll look okay. Make it a little bit more custom. Yeah, if I don't like the way it looks when it's all together, some paint stripper, I take it right out of there. And metallic, you got to kind of work it a little bit. Jeez, I hate metallic. I don't like metallic paint. I almost licked my finger. See, run around like that. Wipe it on my good clothes. The reproduction were pretty good, these Calibrads. And if you should do this, I've got the wheel on a rug underneath there. It makes it nice for turning, see? the rub turns with it. Work your way around. And it was also nice for when I was working on the caps when it was flipped over the other way. I have a couple of jars of I call semi-dirty gas, and then a jar of clean gas for cleaning brushes. But sometimes you can cheat and get away with wiping on a rag. I got a pretty full can here today, so you can cheat and do this a little bit. I know it's really nice and clean. Kind of contaminated it a little bit. Well, it's April 4th of 23, and I like to paint my Avanti rims. It's a nice high 60s degrees, sunny, a little bit windy. I'm going to try to paint them over here tucked in out of the wind, though I'm only going to use just the one rim to the left for the spare. But I'm going to go ahead and have them all painted up nice and put the other four in storage. I don't really have the best indoor painting facilities, so if I can paint something that's of less importance outside, I will. I don't want to get any overspray on my Avanti, which is pretty much done. So I'm going to start out painting the outside of the rim. Paint what's least important first. So I'm going to do this area here, then the back side of all of them, and then the front side. And then I'll put the clear on for a while. Whoa, look at that. So these, I'm just going to do one coat. Just one coat. If I don't have a milk jug or to mix my paint in, I just dump it right straight into the spray gun like this. And I already had a little bit of, and what is it, about a 1 to 4 or something like that. Yeah, I try to get the right consistency. Yes, a lot of guys, you filter it and whatnot. Shit, just do this. Especially when it's got a little project going on. Good enough. Make sure my top is popped on because they suck. They're always popping off. I didn't really check the forecast, and it very well could rain. As I stated earlier, this board cart is excellent for working out in the outdoor workbench. Works great. To get right in those one area there. Not bad. I'm okay with it. We're proud of painting rims. If you do use rims, just hate putting hubcaps on them and scratching them all up. I think it look cool to just run them like that with some BF Goodrich would look cool. But as you know, I have my other Hallenbrand rims all mounted and ready to go. It's already mixed. It's left over in my spray gun. I'm going to pull it right back in there. It doesn't matter, there's a little reducer mixed in there. Next time I use this color paint, I don't know what for, you just use the reducer accordingly when you mix it. That's what the consistency feels like. And painting outside today is nice because sometimes outside, it's springtime, we don't have much bugs or they haven't really developed yet, flies, because it's early April. So it's the best time of year to paint, whether it's inside or outside. And a little bit of wind outside, it's nice. It carries the overspray away from your work. And actually, you get those rims are looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to seal this up, and then I'm going to move on to my clear. I think I got enough to do those rims. Put just a little bit of reducer in my gun. Put this on pretty good. And shook her up a little bit. I poured that right in there. A little more reducer isn't going to hurt it. After the paint sets, sometimes you're better off having some reducer in there. Didn't want to clean out the gun with lacquer thinner, really. So I'm going to put a little more reducer in it. Spray it a couple times. And then I'm going to mix up my clear and my hardness. I'm just going to put enough in just to spray out the nozzle. Shake it up one more time. I'm very pleased with my results. Put my clear and hardener on. Just gotta let them dry a little bit out here in the nice fresh air. What's also cool about this morgue cart, it does have like two wheels that have locks on them. And what's neat is it's got a little storage thing in the bottom of it there. What was once used for storing limbs, like arms and legs, now it stores some Hemi valve covers. So I'm going to roll the whole morgue cart right out of the barn and out of the shop and let everything cure.